So here we find ourselves at the Second Severn Crossing, recently renamed the Prince of Wales Bridge. I think it will always be the Second Severn Crossing to me. However, it's a fantastic location. It's an amazing piece of engineering, and really, on an evening like this is an evening in sort of late September, and it started off a bit rainy this morning, and it's just turned into this most glorious day. It's just fantastic. And so I think this week we're going to have some great weather, so I'm going to take advantage of that. And my dear friend Mark Arklis, brilliant photographer, fantastic darkroom technician, he has lent me his beautiful, and it really is just lovely, the Fuji 6x9 Professional. It has a EBC Fujinon SW f5.6 65mm lens, and is most probably is one of the finest wide-angle cameras ever made. It's, first of all, it's so simple. The lens is beautiful, and there's 8 exposures, obviously. And I actually recently, I'm really pleased I found the shutter lock button, because a bit further down there, I was trying to get it off my neck, and I accidentally tripped the shutter, lost an exposure. And when you've only got 8 exposures, it's actually quite important. So I'm definitely using the lock feature now. But as a piece of kit, it really is outstanding. It's a legendary camera, and it looks quite plasticky. It looks like a compact little 35mm, £30 compact camera from the 80s. Cheaper with the plastic lens. That's what it looks like. But it couldn't be further from that. It's just the most outstanding piece of engineering in photography. Obviously, the lens is fixed. It can't be detached from the body, so the optics and everything about it is designed beautifully well. So, yes, I thought we'd come here today, get some shots of the bridge. So I think, obviously, the bridge suits the 16:9 aspect ratio of the camera. And the thing about the Second Severn Crossing, and I'll also do a video on the first Severn Crossing, because there's a lot of history to this. Again, it's another location which I use the bridge virtually daily, going back and forth clients, going back and forth Bristol, London, wherever. And so I'm very, very familiar with it. And it happens to be 30 years old next year. However, my eldest son, Elliot, has just had his 30 years old this year now. And I'll cut to the shot now. We worked out exactly when the time was. It was mostly May 1995. We came to spot just the other side of the bridge, where Mega, and you can. My wife used to work on the Saturdays. She's a florist, and so it was just me and Elliot. We used to go out, put boys together. And when he was before he was crawling, and I'll cut to the shot now. I took this shot of Elliot with his bottle, looking lovely. Such a lovely memory. I get quite emotional about that shot. It's a lovely shot, and it's a moment in time where the bridge is being constructed, and Elliot is there. And so what we're going to do is, hopefully now Elliot will be back from London soon. He's a film crip, so he's shooting films all over the place, and so he's on a shoot at the moment. But hopefully he'll be back now soon, and we're going to come here, most probably on motorbikes like I've done today, and we'll replicate the shot. So I'll see if he'll give me permission to use it on a YouTube episode. But yeah, I mean, I love this location. It's the wildlife, everything about it, the nature, and I'm just literally down from the M4 here. The M4 is going past. You may well be able to hear it in the background. and it's a major link into South Wales, and it's just become so busy over the last couple of years. Ever since the tolls went, actually. Oddly enough, I think they should have kept the tolls. Like, why they got rid of the tolls, I'll never know. Just keep the tolls, it controls the flow of traffic, and it brings some income into the Welsh Government, which, I mean, I have to say, needs it. So anyway, so here we are. So let's have a look at some the shots I'm going to be taking, and you'll see how sharp this lens is and how magnificent the camera is to use. So simple. Well, this image was a surprise. I wasn't expecting to get this. The thing about the GSW 690, this is GSW 693, is the fact that you can hand hold it. It's a landscape camera, and you know, has a spirit level on the top, and it's all amazing. But it's a handheld camera. Everything I shot was handheld, apart from 2 occasions where I did use a tripod because I went down to f32 and I think went to about 15 per second. But apart from that, everything else was handheld. This was handheld. Now, basically, I went up the night before the main shoot I did in the morning, and because I was doing the piece to camera, and it was a beautiful evening. The sun was very, very low, and so when I saw this shot, I thought, well, actually, it's so dark here. I don't know if I'm going to get anything. I think this is T-Max 400. And I think it was something 60th of a second at f16. I think the actual, because I didn't want to go below 60th of a second, obviously handheld. But I thought, well, am I going to get any detail here? And processed the negative, and lo and behold, the T-Max had given me this, and the detail in the shadow here was astonishing. I just never thought it was going to happen. So that's why that particular shot became the star of the show, because of the technical reasons. Well, yeah, aesthetically it's quite pleasant, but you know, technically it's like, wow, I wasn't expecting to get that out of the T-Max 400. The camera itself's absolute delight to use, and I think I'm going to struggle giving it back to Mark. It's really, really joyous, and as I said, it was it's a really great camera. Mark pointed something out to me. He asked me a question. He said, oh, I'll show you now on the camera. He said, see this button here, the switch. He said it goes from 16 exposure, 8 exposures, and 4 exposures. Now, the 8 exposure is self-explanatory. 8 exposures on a 120 roll of film. Fine. So that's what we've been shooting. 16 exposure also is self-explanatory, because you used to be able to buy 220 film, which you can't do now, and you'd get 16 exposures on a roll. But he said, "What's the 4 exposure about?" And I said, I haven't got a clue. I said, I try and make something up, but no, I really don't know. And he said, well, in Japan, they actually manufactured a half-roll 120 film. So that, and it was specifically to do, apparently, specifically to do with the zone system. So Ansel Adams' zone system, you had, I've got 3 books. It's wonderful books, which are the camera, the negative, and the print. And really, really fantastic piece of work on black and white processing and shooting and printing. Now, Mark is a particularly great exponent of the zone system, and I actually tell you what, if you're watching this and you're interested on a little series on the zone system, please let me know, and if you know, I'll see if Mark would reluctantly maybe help me with doing those episodes, because I think the zone system is a really interesting little thing to do, and that might be a good few episodes, and we can talk about that system. But that's what it was for. It's for people who are using the zone system to expose and process their films. And the camera itself, as I said, is wonderful. The actual camera is a great looking camera. As I said, it looks a bit plasticky. It looks a bit like a 1980s little compact camera, 35mm compact camera. But the actual quality of this lens is amazing, and I think that the lens is the star of the show, of course. Just to show you that here you got the aperture and shutter speed here, and you control them with the dials here. There's some dials there, and you would control the shutter speed and aperture here. And you also have a little spirit level there, which is quite a nice little feature. And obviously it's a rangefinder camera, so you've got a little split box in the viewfinder to get focus. But apart from that, very, very simple. Nothing complex about this camera whatsoever. And I think that's what its joy is that it's the perfect lens for the perfect format, and the fact that you can just go out with this and simply take photographs is fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed the little trip to the Severn Crossing and the slideshow. I think some interesting little shots there, which was fun to do. I'm really enjoying doing these episodes. It's great fun, and thank you so much for the comments and the feedback, which it was a joy to get. And thank you for subscribing and the new subscribers I'm getting, which is also a joy to have. Please let me know if there's anything you may be interested in, any cameras you'd like to review. I have access to quite a few cameras, so yeah, always get hold of a camera and talk about lenses and that sort of stuff. But in the meantime, I hope you have a good week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. So take care, and we'll speak soon. Cheerio.